Hello, today I'm making so-called kotleti. We call them kotleti, but it is, you can call them burgers also. What I need for that, here is beef, bottom round, 2.5 pounds. It's about 2.5 pounds, which makes 1 kilo and 200 grams, about maybe 100 grams, kilo 100 grams. So for that amount of beef, I need 1 large onion, that much of garlic, which is, by the way, is optional, so that much of garlic. So I have here cilantro already washed and parsley. You can add any herbs you like, but I prefer cilantro and parsley, and I might add at the end also dry blue basil. We call them rehani. And of course salt. I'm going to grind all of this together in my grinding machine. So I'll show you, that's what I use. That's my grinding machine. But if you prefer to buy minced meat, so you can do that. Still, you can still make this dish, but use food processor to make all these ingredients into the paste. Add all this into food processor and half cup of water. I will be adding water into the minced meat anyway, so you can use that water to process all these ingredients: garlic, onion, and herbs. So my grinding machine is very noisy, so I'm going to turn the camera off, and that I will show you at the end. So here is my grounded meat, so minced everything, including herbs, onion, garlic, and I salted it already. I forgot to mention at the beginning that if meat is very lean, then kotleti will be very dry, or burgers will be very, very dry. So that's why I use a bottom round. It has a little fat, and it brings moisture to the final product, the final dish. So I'm going to add here blue basil, dry blue basil, but it's optional. If you don't have blue basil, it is fine too. You can add also tarragon if you like. So we'll love very much blue basil. It's a dry, comes from Georgia, from my country. My sister actually dries them. And now between my palms, I just rub them to make them even finer. That's how it looks. And now I'm going to mix it all together. And by the way, I'm going to add water, at least half cup of cold water, tap water. I do it with my hand. After I mix it all with the salt, I leave it in the refrigerator to rest for 30 minutes. A lot of people add eggs and bread also, minced bread, or so sometimes some people add breadcrumbs even as a binding agent. But I never do it, and they just work fine. The only trick is you have to leave it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Sometimes when I don't have time, I even can make it immediately. They never fall apart. So my minced meat was refrigerated, and now I'm ready to make kotleti. Here I have oil and a hot pan. It's quite hot already. Breadcrumbs. They're my homemade breadcrumbs, but you can use any breadcrumbs, or even you can use a flour. So now I make with my hands. I'm forming burgers or kotleti. See, like that. Little bit through between your hands. Then goes into breadcrumbs and on the pan. And next one. You can use cold water to rinse your hands between each burger, if you want to. So it's 5 minutes past, and it is time to turn them over. See, they look cooked on the top side, but they are not cooked completely through. So I'm going to turn them over and again cover them with the lid and continue cooking. See, they're not falling apart. They keep the shape. One little tip. I have more mince left, and what I do, I always wash the pan. I never reuse old oil. So after this part is done, this kotleti, these burgers are done, I wash the pan and start it all over. I never use the oil. I think it's much healthier. So now I'm going to cover it again and continue cooking. So my kotleti are done. I removed the lid. You can see how much moisture or juice comes out. Because my heating is below medium. If you want them to have a crust, then you have to increase the heat. And you can cook them like in 3 minutes on each side, 3 maybe 4 minutes on each side on a higher heat. But we don't like it very crusty, so that's why I make it this way. But they're completely done. I'm going to turn it off. Then I will wash the pan and start all over to finish all my minced meat. Now I want to show you how juicy and delicious it looks inside. It's completely cooked. We usually serve it, our favorite garnish is a buckwheat, but you can serve it with any vegetables, and I will leave different possible garnishes which we very often use under this video, but mostly we use buckwheat. That's our favorite combination. I usually keep them in a dish with a lid in the refrigerator. I make them for 2 days, maybe 3 days even. We like taking them for lunch, even at work, and we like it as a breakfast with a piece of bread also and warm tea. That's all that I wanted to share with you today. Thank you very much for watching.